done trying to retell this story. I have tried to retell this story, I think, over literally like 5 times. And it's like such a long story, but I know I want to tell it. So, whatever the fuck I say in this video is what this video is going to be. If I don't like it, trash it. Literally trash it. Like, I'm not wasting my time anymore on this video because, like, I literally, like, I just want people to know. That's why I want to make this video. It's for knowledge, it's for understanding, and it's caution because that's really what it is. I got a dog and I didn't realize like everything going into it, and then I had to give the dog back. That's basically the premise, and I'm gonna give you a whole rundown on everything. And yeah, we're gonna get into it, okay? So I was feeling depressed, literally just like in bed, sad, waking up every day on my days off, and I was just like, bitch, like, I don't know what the fuck to do. Like, I would do kind of my regular things, but I would just get bored, and like, I don't fucking know. I was scrolling on shorts or reels, or no, I didn't have reels yet, or TikTok, something, and Theo Von, of all people, came up on his podcast, and he basically said, like, I don't know. I feel like they have this in like movies a lot and stuff, but like for some reason it really clicked in my head. Um, but he was basically just like seize the opportunity because and this is the part that got me. This is the part that really planted a seed in my head like, oh, like let's just do it. I think he was talking about like someone that he found attractive and like he never approached them. And he's like, I'd rather just do it because at least I fucking did it, bitch. Even if it didn't work out, even if, she rejected him, said no, like, at least he fucking did it and, like, he knows and he's not ruminating about it in his head. And I wanted to get a dog for, like, multiple years. And, I'm finally out on my own. I'm not with my parents. My dad never wanted me to get a dog. Like, he just said, no, absolutely not. I'm finally out on my own. I make my own money. And I have, like, big boy money, too. Like, I'm at a more professional job. I make a lot more money. And I kind of, like, I heard that. And then I was like, you know what? I know, like, I don't know, like, exactly if I'm in the right place for this. But, like, I'm going to set out for it because we're not gonna just like keep things up in the air anymore. Like I want to start like doing things. And it's something I've always wanted to do since I was a kid, and like now I guess no better times than now, I guess, to do it. Um so I went ahead, got up, went to the shelter. I first looked online and I actually fell in love with one dog in particular. And I went to the shelter that day. I looked at all the dogs. Um, I was able to meet the dog that I liked online first. And the thing about it is she was really anxious, and she was literally like born and raised like in the shelter. I didn't know if I could handle that. I didn't know, like, having like an anxious attachment and like all they know is the shelter. I don't think I could. And like I just kind of like immediately rolled her out. And then whenever I was able to like look at the dogs like in their each individual like areas, like the kennels, the cages, like all that. That was the only dog that behind the little fence was like feral barking at me, like it wanted to rip my head off, and I was like, oh. Like, I remember that scared me so much. I was like, oh my gosh, like, I'm glad I went to check on her one more time because it scared me. And it made me really disappointed. But, you gotta get back up and try again. Like, not every dog is meant for everyone. Like, there's got to be a connection, you know. And I remember whenever I was looking through all the dogs, there was one that particularly caught my eye. And he was literally like, when I came around the corner and looked at him, like, he was the most beautiful dog I have ever seen. Like, literally ever. I was like, oh, like, you're literally dying. You're literally kidding. You're literally like, what do you mean? And I already know this was a really unique dog. Like, even just looking online, this was the picture. I'll put it up here. Very cool, very unique, and just very boots. What am I even talking about? But like, you get the picture. Like, compared to like a normal dog, like, he looks very different. And whenever I saw him in person, I was like, jaw on the floor, like, oh my god, you're literally joking. So, I don't remember if I think, no, I like had went home, and then I remember just thinking about him, and I'm like, I guess like I can meet that dog, like, let's, meet in the meeting area and just like kind of see the vibe, because like I was really disappointed from like, the first dog still, um being like literal feral, like, and trying to kill me. Not literally, but like, I'm just very defensive in like their little area, and I didn't like that. So I went back the next day and met him, and he was just so sweet. Like, he was just like so kind, and just kind of like chilled in the little area that you like play, meet with them. Um, it's kind of awkward though, because like they don't really like know you. So like he was a little like, he finally got a little like leg room. So like he was kind of walking around, but like he let me like pet him, and like it was really cool or whatever. And yeah, I kind of just like, after that, I was like, I really want this dog. Like, I was really set on him, and I told my roommate, and she actually didn't respond for a couple days, and then I finally caught her, and she's like, I just don't think it's a good idea. And then I'm like, I know it's just kind of jumping the gun, like, but like, I really want to get this dog. And she told me, honestly, just like wait a week and just think about it. And I was like, well, like, I thought about it for years. Just take an extra week to think about it. That's all I probably should have had to do before I could have avoided, everything entirely. But like, I feel like sometimes in the moment, your feelings, intuition, all that can be so strong that like you just kind of ignore everything else. So I bring her with me, and she meets the dog as well, and she's like, he's so cute. We're just like falling in love. And then I signed the adoption papers that day. Um, Whenever, I wanted my roommate to meet him before anything. Obviously, like, we literally lived together. And I remember when I was sitting there with those adoption papers, things were really starting to like, the cogs started to turn in my head, where I was like, is this a good idea? Am I doing the wrong thing? Like, did I jump the gun like too quick? Just like completely just like going crazy. That's why you should wait a week, because like, I know I wanted to jump the gun because I just felt like this dog in particular was like so just like sweet and pretty, um that he would have gotten taken like by someone else. Like, that's why I honestly jumped the gun, because I was like, oh my, someone else is gonna get him, and like I don't want to miss him, when I feel like that's the only dog that I was like, I think this is my dog. And they were running down. It was the reason why there was like a spiral going on my head. They were running down like all these things that you have to do for the dog, and I was just like, oh my god, like, this is kind of a lot that I'm like stacking in my head. Like, I already, I don't know. It was just like a lot. It was just a lot, and just a lot of responsibility going along with it. That kind of escalated things in my head. Um, and then we go home. They actually told us, like, whenever we receive our dogs, if they haven't been neutered or spayed, they are going to be neutered and spayed before they give them to us. And I was just like, can we opt out and just try to do that like later down the line? Like I really don't I don't even know this dog, and like they're gonna be recovering from surgery like when they first get in here, and they're like, no, that's just like what we do. And it's like, okay, but like I would have scheduled a spade appointment, like, or well, he's a guy, so he get neutered. I didn't realize how intense the surgery was either. It's just a whole lot. But I have to go home that night, kind of just research, and then buy everything for him because he's about to come in like a couple days because they have to schedule the surgery, and that's when I am able to get him. And oh my gosh, like here's some tips for buying things for the dog. First things first, go to Dollar Tree. Go to Dollar Tree. That should be the only first place that you go. You can get big plastic bowls. You can get like bones. You can get, oh my god, he loved these little peanut butter treats, and it's like a big ass bag for what, 125. I think things are going to 150 now, which is crazy. Um, but you can get that. You can get little toys. Like just go to Dollar Tree first, and you'll get a lot of good essentials and save a lot of money that way. Um, Going to Petco is like, let me just give you my life savings. Like literally, like take all my money because they charge like out the fucking ass for their shit. So like, go to Dollar Tree first. Walmart wasn't really that cheap either. So like, I get Dollar Tree, and then like things that you need, or like maybe you need a better quality product, go to like Walmart or Petco. Also, for since we're gonna have surgery, they have to recover for it, and they have to be in a kennel for it. That's what they recommend, so that they don't open their stitches, or like all these things. It's just better for them, I guess. Um, so like I was like originally like I don't I kind of just wanted them probably just wander around the house. Um, I had to get this Kindle, and that was very pricey. I think it was at least, um, I think most of them were at least $100, and I got mine on sale for like $80. So that was cool. A pet bed you have to get in there too. Like, there's just so many things that you have to buy that like you don't even think about. Like, you need a leash, you need toys, you need food. You have to get like a big bag, and like um all these things. I had to, for my apartment complex, because they don't accept like regular dogs, or like they do, but it's literally like, let me give you my life savings again, like to pay for my dog to be here. So like a way to bypass that is, I've been going to therapy, and struggling with mental health a lot. I really did think that since I was like really depressed during this period, that like having a dog would like really boost that. And honestly, it fucking did. So, oh goodness, my phone's about to die. Um, so I got him registered as an emotional support animal. And that's also honestly just a life hack. Like, if you want to have like your dog like live with you in an apartment, and they don't accept them, like they have to let you have the dog in that situation. He's not a support animal. I'm not like bringing him into public. I think that's crazy unless you bring him to like Petco. But like, as an emotional support animal, and you get like a referral from a doctor, which I did. So that costed a lot of money. You have to get a tag for them done, like around their collar. That cost a decent amount of money. Hold on, my phone's gonna die. And mind you, there were things that I also were able to bypass. Like I got the discount on the crate. They actually, since the shelter was kind of overpopulated, There was no adoption fee, so I didn't even have to pay an adoption fee. A lot of people have to literally buy their dogs for thousands of dollars. I'm just talking about what you need for a dog, like to literally just have the dog. He was a husky, so I had to get brushes. Like, there's so many things. Like, I spent, I know I spent at least $1,000. I am not kidding. Like, there's just so many things. You have to, like, schedule them for a vet. I never even got to the vet appointment because I had to, give them back. But, like, you have to pay for the vet. You have to, if they get sick or anything, which he did, you have to pay all of that out of pocket. Like, it is so much money. You need to have so much money on hand. And luckily I did. Because if I didn't, oh my god. Um, but like that was kind of the biggest reason I was like, I finally have money. I've been living paycheck to paycheck, and then now I finally get a better job where I can afford more than the bare minimum. Like, let's, utilize that and do something that I've always wanted to do. But I'm preparing all these things. Like, I'm just trying to give you like a little bit of handle on like the cost of things because that is so important. Like, it's so much money. Like, genuinely, like, know that going into it, you will at least spend probably $1,000. Not kidding. Um, and then the day comes where he has a surgery, and we're gonna pick him up. We pick him up. Well, we go there. I get like his adoption papers. Like, I'm getting all excited, and then we're waiting to like get him. We finally get him, bring him in the car, take him home. He had like such a nice ride home. By the way, like he was doing really well, just very well behaved. He's an older dog, so um, that was what I was more looking for. Whereas if you had a puppy, no, like having a puppy is literally like having a baby. Like a puppy's a lot. But that's why I wanted to get an older dog. Like, they're pretty well trained. They're not, all these things. But then I realized something, but we'll get to that. I bring him home, and we're kind of just having bonding time because, like, he's recovering from surgery, and like, I just want to, like, have him be comfy in the home. I'm just like kind of petting him on the ground. We're bonding. Like, he's like really happy, loving it. He had thrown up in the car, so I felt really bad. Um, but I'm just kind of petting him on the ground, and again, just bonding. Like, he's my dog. It's the first day, but like, of course, I want to like just hold him and like, more let him come to me. I think that was mainly my big thing. Is like, I don't want to be like all up on him like I'm a stranger. Like, I'll let him come to me. Like, I'll like, it's a safe space. But we finally started bonding. But when you have a dog who is recovering from like neutering spayed, um, I first of all didn't know it looked that crazy. It literally looks like this big swollen, like almost like kind of orange. Like, think of like an orange, but it's like on their ball sack area, and it's just so swollen, purple, blue, bruised. It looked really painful. Like, I didn't know like neutering and spades were that crazy because like they're like the most common surgery you get for a dog or whatever. Um, but it looked crazy. So he was in so much pain. And the reason why they, put that big cone around them is because they don't want them to lick the area. And on top of that, like, what I thought was just this is kind of like a really interesting fact, I'd say. But the reason you don't want them licking the stitches is because they're water soluble, just meaning that they dissolve with water. I think it's probably so they don't have to take the stitches out. But like, I was like, oh, that's really interesting. So you just don't want them licking down there because it'll like open up and they have to like redo the stitching and you have to start. Um, mind you, the 2 week recovery process. This is why I wanted to delay just like him getting neutered, because like he's going to be in pain for 2 weeks and he's going to somewhere that he doesn't know. Like, what do you mean? Like, I know like you don't want them like going out and like having babies with all the dogs on the streets, but like he doesn't fucking know me. He doesn't fucking know my house. Like, I don't want him to be uncomfortable and all that. So like I know he just got here and all these things, but like he needs to get used to the cone because we're not having the stitches like come undone. So we went from like this little bonding moment, like all nice, to when I put on this cone, like he was kind of like pissed as fuck. Like I could just tell like he was not having it. And then my neighbor, my really good friend, he had actually stopped by my house because he was dropping off food. I think this is the night he gets kind of experimental in the kitchen and he'll like bring me some food, which is so nice. I think that's so sweet. He brought me fufu and a goosey soup, which is like, kind of like the TikTok. It's not TikTok. It's like an African dish, but it got popularized on TikTok. And I was like, oh my god, like he told me he knew how to make it and I thought it was so exciting and I was like, can you make me some? And he did. Um, but he was bringing that in. We were talking, the door was open, and Zeus, that was the name of my dog, by the way. Zeus, he had this big cone on and he was kind of fumbling around, just kind of like he's kind of upset about it. But the collar was a bit too loose that it literally came off. And since the door was open, he was kind of standing outside too. He darted. I was like, you're literally joking. Okay, like the shift in tone is crazy. I start darting after him. Like, mind you, he just had surgery and he's like running full speed like on the street. So I'm like running after him. We go to one side of my apartment complex. And then like he turns around, he does a UE and starts running down the neighborhood. Mind you, I was running at the gym like every day. Literally every day. I started reaching like 9 miles per hour like on my sprint. And I know I was going at least 9 miles an hour. And like I could not catch up. Could not catch up. And mind you, the surgery, guide, like, don't even let them jump on furniture. It might irritate everything. We are going like 10 miles an hour across the neighborhood. Like me sprinting full blown, and he's just like he's keep he keeps like looking back at me, like seeing where I'm at, and like, oh my god. Like first day of me having him, I'm like, and I'm already like kind of unsure as this. I'm like, oh my god, what the fuck? What the actual fuck? And then he like jumps a fence. It's kind of like a half fence, but he jumps a fence into someone's backyard. I'm like, you're literally lying. You're literally lying. But it was kind of an interesting point in their backyard. Oh my god, this saved me. Saved me the first time he was running away. First time, by the way. There was another time. We'll get to that. But he jumped on, it was like this plateau thing. It was like this weird plateau thing in someone's like back corner of their yard. And the jump down from there to the backyard was at least like 7, 8 feet. It was pretty steep. So like he kind of got stuck on there. And then, I kind of like had him cornered. And then he like got on the fence and kind of walked back to me, and like I finally got him back in my arms, and like in that moment I was like, oh my god. Oh my gosh. Um oh my god, and when I was running, like things were flying. When I was sprinting, my phone had just flown on the street. I didn't care. I was just trying to get my dog, you know what I mean? And my neighbor was helping me run after him, and I think my roommate was here too, but she didn't know what was happening. Um So I had gotten him, we walked home, and then I just like, he doesn't know me. So I was like, okay, like, he doesn't know me. I can't take it personally. Um, I just need to know, like, he might try to run or something. Um, we just continue bonding. Like, I'm trying out all these toys with him and stuff. I get him used to the crate. Another thing that I was pissed about the surgery is like, he's not even crate trained. And they want me to, like, just magically, like, out of thin air, like, have this whole recovery plan, like, in check. Like, it takes time for dogs to get comfortable with a crate because, like, you don't want it to be. This is really interesting, by the way, and a really good tip for people who, like, want to kennel train their dogs. Um, the reason why a lot of people like to even say, like, it's a really good thing is because dogs like to naturally den. Like, think of, like, a lion in a den, like a cave. Like, they naturally just like having their own space. So, like, when you treat it like it's a good thing they can just go in and do, um, and just relax in, like, it's like where they take naps, they can just, have their me time. They have this really cool, like, it's a cooling pad, that I got that just sits on the bottom of the kennel, which I thought was so good because, I live in a desert and he's a husky. And I had even told them, I'm like, dude, like, is it okay to have a husky in a desert climate? Like, don't they get hot? But I guess their coats, it helps them when it's hot and it's cold. So I don't know. They told me not to cut it too because it helps them with the heat. I don't know how, but who knows? I don't know the science. I don't know the science. Um, but, like, that's why I wanted him to just get comfy with the house first and stuff because, like, the kennel, he wasn't used to it, and, like, I had work the next day after I had gotten him. So, he wasn't quite used to it whenever I, like, had to go to work. Like, I was really trying, but I had to just grab him and, like, put him in there. Which honestly, like, it wasn't too bad. But then he started realizing when, you know, it was kennel time, like, I'd have to, like, grab him and put him in there. And he's a big dog. Oh my god. Um, but, it's important to get them used to it so that you're not treating it like, um, oh, like, you're being bad, you're being put in jail. It's like, no, you're like, um, I just don't want you to, like, maybe get into something that'll, like, hurt you. For this particular reason, like, he doesn't know my house or anything, and he's better off, like, after surgery to, like, just be in a kennel where he can't hurt himself. So, like, that's the best case scenario. He doesn't know my house, and, like, who, like, he could tear something up, or. So that's, like, the best place whenever I'm, like, not there, especially in the beginning. Um, but I just wanted to have him get used to it. But, like, oh my god, like, that made the whole thing just so much worse. But basically, we have a full week, and we're transitioning. Like, he's learning, about the house, habits, what we do. I'm figuring out our own habits, like me walking and stuff with him. Um, Me doing all these things. You know what I mean? Like, getting used to having a dog. Um, and then I had finished, like, my work week. I was exhausted and, like, honestly, the thought of, like, me, like, having my dog, like, it was just kind of like a lot that day. And I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna take him for a walk, and we're just gonna kind of relax and chill and have a nice chill day. It was whenever I had first woken up, and I'm, like, half awake. I'm taking him to, like, go pee or whatever. And then, after our walk, like, as I'm walking into my house, um, I had dropped the leash. I had dropped the leash. and he starts darting, running like he did the first time. I had had a long week. I was exhausted in the morning. He had already ran away first time. I was really trying to make things work. And then he started running again. And I was like, no. Like, I remember just that feeling. Like, I felt like a bit just like, fuck. Like, I felt like a failure, like, in that moment. But, I'm like, oh my god, literally in Crocs, my morning shoes, running after him. Like, people were seeing him, they're telling me where he's going, and like, oh my god, I'm like running after him, like down the block, and like this time he didn't get what do you call it? Like in a dead end, like he didn't get chopped or anything. And I was running after him, trying to get him, and like I couldn't catch him this time. And we did just kind of like a circle around the neighborhood, but like whenever I circled back, um, we were running up a hill. Literally kill me. We're running up a hill. And I get so close, I'm like a foot behind him. And then he starts running faster. Like he saw me and starts running faster, and then I can't get him, and I make it up that hill, and I have no clue where he went. No clue where he went. I like really just start looking, and then I start panicking, and then I'm like, like he already ran away the first time. I was like, this is the second time. Like, is this gonna be a thing? Like, I don't like. I'm in the headspace. Like, I need a rest day. I'm exhausted, and I have no idea what to do. But I need to find my dog. So I had like called my roommate, and we're just kind of driving around the area. We do this for a couple hours, and like we're like also walking on the ground like around everywhere, and I had a feeling the entire time like he did not make it far. Like I had a feeling like he was in the apartment complex the entire time, and I'm like, he did not go that far. I don't know how I lost him that first time, but like, oh my gosh, and we looked so many times like in just like our apartment complex area. I'm like, I know he's like close by. Like I just had a feeling. Um and then we start trekking outwards when we can't find him, and it's just like like I have no clue. We give it a couple hours, and then we stop our search, and then we kind of just like don't know what to do because we don't know we didn't find him, and like I don't know do I call someone? I think I called the shelter, and they told me like, well, we don't like go look for them or something, and I'm like, okay, I don't know. They didn't really give me any advice, but my mom gave me the best advice. And this, if you ever lose your dog, go to Facebook, make a fake Facebook post, and like, I don't know, I found a random community out of nowhere. Like, people just type in lost dogs for your area, and people will be on the case. People will like constantly posting like, is this your dog? Is this like, here's a lost dog, and they like connect people back to their dogs. And I was like, oh my gosh, like people were really on the case, just like messaging me like, oh my god, did you find your dog? Like, oh, is this your dog? And they were showing pictures of me like on the street, and I'm like, oh my god, like people were like really helping, and like we had searched for so long, like we didn't know what the fuck to do, you know? And night finally hits, like the evening, and I'm just like, damn, like I don't know. And then someone posts a picture. I can probably put it right here. Zeus got found. Zeus got found, and the leash is attached. The leash that I had. Dude, the shirt makes me look like I'm naked. The leash that I had attached was on him, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's Zeus. And I remember showing the picture to my mom, and she's like, oh, he's a bad boy. That is a bad boy. But yeah, we find Zeus, And it took me like an hour to finally like contact them. Like I was like texting them, like really trying to just grab them and come back home like real quick. Um, and it was just like really hard to get a hold of them. It took about an hour, and then they finally gave me their address and like all these things. Think of like a strip mall. You know how like all the shops are like right next to each other? That's kind of how like my apartments are set up, where like they're like townhouses. So you have the townhouses like, you know, bam, and then you have like kind of like a stretch of 20. So I'm like here. He's literally at the townhouse at the other end. That's the people who found them. Like, I knew it. I knew he did not go far, bitch. Like, he was in the same apartments. He was right there. We had looked so long. I had no idea. Like, even like in the evening, well, I don't know if we went out looking again. Once I had the Facebook post, I had like hope that like we would find him. And we had done so much looking at first. I was like, I don't think it's gonna help much. Where like people are actively like they're able to give me so much more information. But he was there. I had went. He looked fucked up. He had like rain and dirt all over him, and I remember he just saw me and he started crying and like he was so sad, and I was like, oh, because mind you, like me like with him in this week, like we bonded a lot. Like I was really like we started to like have a connection. You know what I mean? Um, but he was really sad, and I was like happy it got found, but I think I was like still just like more annoyed that he like ran away. I was like, I don't know how to fix this issue. Like, it's like, especially when you feel like you're bonding with someone, like, and they leave, like it gives you like a weird feeling. So I remember we got home, and like I was finally just glad like everything's okay. Like we'll have another time. Like we'll have more time to work on this, and like we'll just try something new. I put a little note on my phone, try to get Zeus back on track. I made a little plan to get him back on track, and he slept in his kennel. I have that picture. Like he like passed out. Oh, my storage is running out. He had passed out in his kennel, and I remember he tried. Like I was just, it was such a stressful day. I wanted to just down on the couch, and like he was trying to like come to me for cuddles and like all this, but like I was upset. Like he like ran away again. Like I didn't know if this was gonna be like a really big reoccurring thing, because like I can't handle that. Like that's like I have an emotional support animal that's like running away from me. Like anxiety through the roof. Like what emotional support, um so like I was upset, and like I kind of like broke some trust there. And I remember when he had gotten home, like the next few days, I had finally transitioned his food. It takes about, I think, like a week to transition your dog's food, but I had finally transitioned his food, and he started diarrheaing and like peeing over like everything. Specifically like his kennel. Like he kept having accidents in his kennel, and I'm like, is it his food? Like he didn't have this with the what do you call it? Like all he really would eat at first is treats. So I just started giving him treats, because I'm like, I guess it's his food. Maybe I transitioned it too fast, and like, you want to transition it so that like, their stomachs don't get upset and their bowel movements like stay the same. Like if you just like randomly transition, they could get like super constipated or diarrhea or like all that, because it's just not their regular food. Kind of like real life, like just eat your regular things, stick with it. But if you just randomly just like I eat cheese all day. Like, that's all I eat, and like that's not what I normally eat. Like, I'm not gonna feel good, feel upset, and like my body's not gonna know how to handle it. So you just transition. It went on for a few days, and like I got so excited I put a comforter up here because I'm like, oh, we'll try it. Like, he can sleep in my room, like on the floor for the night. And I was like so excited he started walking up here, and I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna go peek and see like what he did. He literally pissed and shit all over my comforter. And it was like a nice comforter too. And like I know it's like these things are meant to happen. But you know. I think that was the only time I remember disciplining him was when that happened. Um, you know, I was just kind of like, no, we don't do that. No, mm-mm, no, ma'am. I guess I like, wow, so stern saying no, ma'am. But I would just have him like look at it, and then I'd be like, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that on my nice stuff. Don't do that. That was supposed to be your bed, and now it's covered in shit and piss. Um, but you know, I think he got the point. Like, don't pee and poop in the house. The only other time I remember like saying anything to him was, I don't know, when he came back after he ran away. I was like, we're not doing that. Like, I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to say, but we're not doing that. But he was pissing and shitting everywhere, and it continued for a few days. So once it hit like the third or fourth day, I remember I was like, I need to go bring him to the doctor. So I went to an urgent care for pets, and I figured out from him running away, he had contracted an illness from it, which you get from, I believe, like, I looked it up on my own. I don't know if exactly this is, but it sounds right. You get it from like drinking infected water. So he probably drank like a puddle that had like who knows what the fuck in it. It was like we barely get rain here, so he probably drank like a puddle with, again, like literal like uranium like mixed in with dirt. Like, obviously, like that's not like he's not going to be doing well. um but his body's like trying to expel it, so that's why he's peeing and shitting everywhere. Oh, and when I would take him out on walks, like, this is when I knew something was wrong, is like he would try to like poop, and like nothing was coming out, and he would just be like squatting for like 5 minutes, and I'm like, I know dogs, like, he was having diarrhea at the time, but like I know dogs like don't do that, you know. And we took him to urgent care. I remember being in that lobby, like I had no control of anything. I literally had to take off work. I was feeling so sick because just so much was going on like around Zeus. Like, again, not just that comforter. I had so many more comforters I kept putting in his kennel, and they kept getting ruined, and I had to just toss them. I didn't know what the fuck to do. Like, I just, and whenever they told me like the diagnosis and like everything, I remember just like bawling, crying. I'm like, oh my god, like I don't know if I can handle this. Like, I this is something I've wanted for so long, and like I feel like I have absolutely like no control over it. Like, I felt so embarrassed. I'm like bawling, bawling in this vet office whenever they, told me everything, and I was just like it was way too much responsibility, way too fast, and like I couldn't fucking handle it. Now, I do understand, like, if it was normal responsibility, like, I probably would have been able to handle it. But, like, just things happening back to back, like, I could not handle that. I can't handle him running away and then getting sick, and, like, I'm driving to a completely other city, and, like, I still just have this feeling in me, like, this dog doesn't want me. This dog, and it started to kind of build resentment in me, too, where I'm like taking care of him and all these things, and I'm like, is he just gonna run away again? Like, I remember just getting like so upset, and like, like he'd come up to me, and like it wouldn't feel the same, and like I don't know. Um, and like that's not something that I want to have. That's not something I want him to have either. So again, like all these emotions just came forefront. I am bawling, and then I have to call my mom. I have to call my roommate and just say like, I think I made a huge mistake, and like I don't know what to do, and like, um, sorry, I have my chargers right next to me, and it got disconnected. Oh, I wanna get that out of the thing. Um, yeah, just bawling, 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 crying, everything, shitting, pissing, me in the chair in the vet's office, shitting and pissing. Um, but yeah, I had no control over him in the office, and he was trying to go to the other dogs, and like I was trying to hold him down, and like I felt like I had no control, and he had gotten that diagnosis, and I just started crying and all these things, and I'm just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Um, and then I was trying to even discuss with them like, okay, like if I bring them back to the shelter, do you know if like they'll take care of him for it? Like, um, because again, like it was just something like I didn't know I could handle. Um, they gave me, well, I think so. I know I explained it wasn't the diagnosis that made me go crazy or just like off the walls. It was when they were explaining like all the things I had to do to have him be better. And it was not like, oh, you give him like this little pill, just give it with him every day. I had to like sprinkle packet on his a packet on his food, which he wasn't even eating, and then I had to get a syringe, a literal syringe, and like go in his throat and like put the substance in there that you had to like mix up. And then there was one more thing on top of that I don't remember for sure. But like all those things on top of just like all the responsibility and everything that had went on, I had like literally just like lost it. Like literally, I know that's probably like it's not a normal situation like whenever you first get a dog. I completely understand that. Like it'd be one thing if he's like tearing up the furniture or something versus like all these situations happening back to back. But like I couldn't handle it. So I had made my decision um for the day or two. Oh my god, I was a wreck. I literally waked up and would just cry and like think about everything, and I'd see him, and then we'd be doing our things, and I'd be so just sad and like just going through so much emotions. But then I had finally like made up my mind, and I'm gonna bring him back to the shelter. So, along with this though, I will say before we get to like me bringing him back to the shelter, I want to say other things that completely went wrong and that you should know. Again, refer back to the title. This is why I'm making this video. Um, things you should know before getting a dog. Um, my house is very nice. I love it. It's quaint. It's small. It cannot fit a large dog. Like we're literally in the kitchen and like I have to tiptoe around him. Like it's not built for more than even like with me and my roommate we're cramped in the kitchen. Like it's not suitable for you know even just one dog. Like it's not comfy at all. It's quaint, but it's quaint for one, two people. Period. Period. Um, Another thing, me whenever I would walk him, I'm in the desert, and like I had seen so many people before I had gotten him, um, that they had their dogs, and I was like, oh, cool. Like I think this is a dog community. There is nowhere here that has like grass. I thought we had grass. We don't. We have bushes and rocks. He's squatting on a dead bush so that he can poop. Like what? I remember another thing that really um it goes with like the dead bushes. Whenever we finally were able to walk long enough where he could find grass, when he saw grass, it like I don't know if it like broke my heart, but it like it's whenever I started like it was just one of the reasons where I'm like, he needs to have a home that has grass and a yard. Like this is my favorite picture ever of him. And it started to kind of plant that seed in me like I don't think this is going to work out, and I think he needs, someone with more resources and things to live with. You know what I mean? um what else? Oh, if you have a husky, there's going to be hair everywhere. To this day, I have hair in my car. I have hair still around the house. It's been like a year since I had him, pretty much. Because I got it when I started my job, and I'm about to hit a year at my job. Like, there's still husky hair. I don't know how we have been sweeping and mopping. There's still husky hair. That's not really like what went wrong, but like, that's crazy. That's more just the crazy. Like, what do you mean there's still hair and it's been a year? Um, oh crap. There's like one more thing, I think. Let me think for a sec. Hold on. I remember. Okay. So I really wanted to get an older dog because I felt like, they're gonna be trained. I'm not gonna have to worry a lot of things like when you have a puppy. And mind you, I probably should have said this at the beginning of the video, but like I used to pet sit for dogs. We have always had dogs like in our house, like growing up. We'd always have just like one family dog because that's all dad would let us allow. Um, and when COVID started, I had completely helped my mom raise her dog, which is like my dog now. I can put him on the screen. I love him so much. Um, he's an absolute dear, little TJ. Um, but yeah, I thought it'd be a better thing having an older dog. But the thing is, we all have our own lives. This is the thing I didn't know. Um, he had obviously like accumulated like all these experiences, all these traumas. Like I don't know like his past and everything. Um, but I remember thinking like whenever I got him, I'm like, he's a really well trained dog. He's a really well trained dog. But I think he just runs away. I think that's just his thing. We even, my family, when we were younger, we had a dog just like that, and he would just run away. He ran away so many times, but he loved us. But he would just run away. And I remember my mom telling me that whenever Zeus was running away, I was just like, oh, like I don't know if I can literally, physically, mentally, emotionally handle that. Like that's like gonna fuck with me. For all the reasons I said before. But yeah, I didn't know how long it would take that trust to build. I didn't know like if it really would ever build. I mean, we obviously had a bond, but like even like when he ran away and like he came back, like he still loved me. So like it was just like, is this something I'm gonna have to deal with? Like he's gonna run away and all these things. Um, so yeah, that's one really, really big con of having an older dog is like they're gonna have things and like I don't know if you can train them out. I don't they're you know, there's always that phrase, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. I don't think that's necessarily to be true, but like I didn't know like, you know, if you can like necessarily change things like that. Um but after I had my meltdown, we're going back to the story. This is kind of like a story time a little bit. It is. Um, I brought him back to the shelter, and I remember just being so emotionally invested. I had told them what happened, and she's like, honestly, it happens a lot. Like, don't beat yourself up for it. Like, okay, she wasn't that empathetic, but like, she was like, this happens a lot. Like, um, oh my God, I started crying. I felt so embarrassed. I was crying everywhere. But like, dude, I didn't know what to do. Like, I loved him, but like, I didn't know how to make it work out. And like, I felt like it was too much responsibility. Like, it was just a lot. It was a lot. And I hated the idea of like bringing him back. Um, but he's so pretty and so sweet. Like, he's gonna get adopted. Like, I kept putting that in my mind. Like, he's not like a dog that's not gonna get adopted. So, um, that gave me a bit more clarity and comfort bringing him back. So I had returned everything. I ended up donating a lot of my stuff to them too because they have people who foster dogs, which also I would recommend. Like, if you're thinking of getting a dog, like you can foster a dog for like a week or two. Just have them like it's like a little vacation for them, I guess. Where you just get to play with them and entertain them, take care of them, and then you bring them back. So I donated like pretty much all my stuff to that. Um, and then yeah, I remember going in my car and like they had told me like, okay, they're gonna come around like the other end and they're gonna pick up Zeus. And like I remember like just being in my car and um I remember being in my car and I'm with my roommate and I'm just like, this is the last time I'm gonna be with Zeus. I'm like I haven't cried in a video before. It was the last time I was gonna be with them, and I remember just being like, just like defeated and like so just I don't know, like it was a really nice last moment, um, and like he was just licking me and just like, because I was sobbing just like this, and my roommate was crying too, and like it's just like it sucks, it really sucks. Oh my God. Okay. I didn't know if I'd ever. That's the first time I've cried telling this story. Um, I told you I tried to tell it like how many times. Like I'm not even kidding. Like 6, 7 times. Um, but yeah, it was a really nice last moment. It was a really nice last moment, and like I got to say goodbye, and like I think I really learned a lot from the experience because um I think one of the biggest things is what do you call it? Like it gave me more drive and like inspiration for me to strive for a better life because I could provide for a dog like Zeus in the future, and like now I know exactly what to do and what I should know, and like I think that's so important, like why I'm making this video, because it's like I just don't want you to feel like me where like um you you're doing something like you really wanted to do for a long time and like it just completely doesn't work out. um and I know we learn from experience, I know, and like I wouldn't change anything about it, but like um 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 like I wouldn't change anything about it, and like we learn from experience, and I guess truth be told, like what Theo Von said, like it, it didn't work out, but at least I fucking did it, and I really proved to myself like I can really handle things under pressure, and like I don't think a lot of people would have even like um stuck around for that long, and like I know it wasn't. I only had him for 2 weeks, and like I'm a lot of people wouldn't say that's a lot, and like even looking back, I'm like, oh my god, that was 2 weeks, but like um I I learned so much and I enjoyed the time with them and like um I don't know, like I had in my head too, like this is my dog, like why doesn't it feel like I can work out with it and all these things, but like it's just not the right time. It's not the right time. Um but yeah, I hope you learned something from this. Um I want to just bring one more thing. Hold on. Obviously, I took like a lot of pictures of like the whole thing, like throughout like me having it. I just farted. Oh my god. Maybe that'll lighten this up. But I have like some of this stuff. I have a little box with like some of his things. Like this was his favorite toy, and my friend had gotten it for him. And this is the leash he fucking ran away with. Uh, oh, these are like the best little toys. They're like a little ball, and they like that thing scared me. That was loud. Um, but you just like throw them. It's a little ball. This brush was like literally $20, but it's so good. Look, it has like his hairs on it still. Um, and then I think this is like, I know I'm not gonna cry again. I think I got my tears out, but holding his collar is like, it's like the biggest thing that reminds me of him because you're always like putting on his collar and all that. Whenever he's around the house, he's just, you hear it. And um, yeah, I think I also wanted to make a video, and like I think this one felt right, especially whenever I was getting like my tears back and kind of reliving it. I think I'm finally ready to close this chapter. Not that I've been thinking of getting a dog anytime soon, but I'm finally ready to um move on. And I had gotten so many tears out in the beginning whenever I realized I wanted to bring him back, but I think I'm really glad I was able to get that out. But yeah, I hope you'll learn something from this again. Um, that's why I wanted to make it. I'll see you on the next one.